Have some social media video of one of these funnel clouds that came through Little Rock, Arkansas. I want to put that up. Let's watch this.
That is a sideways rotation. That is a sideways rotation.
Okay, so you can hear that individual just kind of talking about the tornadic movements this is making. You can see there that was shaping up to be quite a massive funnel cloud there over parts of Arkansas there in Little Rock. We did hear from the Little Rock mayor on Twitter, Frank Scott Jr., saying at this time we know of 24 people who have been hospitalized at Little Rock hospitals. And we're not aware of any fatalities in Little Rock at this time. Property damage is extensive and we're still responding. That's going to take us out now to our X-Red weather system. Take a look at this. Okay, so you see all of those purple boxes there, those kind of moving purple parallelograms. Well, those are areas where there are tornado watches and warnings. And you can see how extensive this system is. Not only centered in the southeast, it's been making its way into central part of the country, also up to parts of Iowa and Illinois. So this is just a very, very, very wide, massive system that is making its way through parts of the country at this point in time.
Into Cross County, Arkansas. That's the town of Wynne is located. Some significant damage there. Will, back with you. Looks like you're getting a little bit of rain. In fact, south of you, away from you, there is another confirmed tornado warning.
Yeah, unfortunately, that rain complicating ongoing search and rescue efforts. You can probably hear the sirens in the background behind me because this is still a very fresh emergency scene. We have a call that has been made out that I understand from rescue officials here in this county to nearby areas asking for assistance with additional ambulances, fire engines, and things like that. And we take you around as my colleague Tony here kind of gives us a perspective from top the Fox Weather Beast. A lot of the damage you're seeing on camera right now in this direction is from roof of the high school. The high school had let out earlier that day, I understand, about 1:30 in the afternoon, so there were not a lot of people, if at all, inside the high school. An additional shelter has just been set up at the junior high school here. But to kind of capture the sense of what's happening here, people are still somewhat in disbelief. This is, again, very, very fresh for this community, and so you have people trying to still get on crowded roadways and try to check on one another. You can see some of these neighbors out here on the street. They just had to bring in a bulldozer to move off some of this stadium lighting. These poles from the football stadium had crashed onto the roadway, and so it took a bulldozer to move those out. And right behind me here is where we're going to see a lot of the significant residential damage. And this is not the only area, but this is one of the most considerable that we have certainly encountered at this point. And they're still trying to navigate to different parts of the community, Stephen. It's, of course, still too early to give you a sense of just how many injuries we're looking at here because there's still that active search and rescue mission. And, of course, these different elements playing on. I have rain right now and I have a bright sun shining on me. So we still have all this energy developing. And you might be able to see over my shoulder here is this gigantic rainbow circling the Wynne Water Tower as all of this damage and all this kind of chaos for this town takes place underneath this rainbow right now. But folks just telling me they're thankful that they are able to walk out of their homes. I just spoke with a woman a few minutes ago who has her home destroyed, she says, but she was able to immediately get out and then start helping her neighbors. There is still a lot of that initial assessment happening right now, but significant damage to pass along here from Wynne, Stephen, as we're still trying to really wrap our heads around all that has happened here in terms of how many homes have been affected, but lots of trees snapped, lots of structural damage. This was a powerful storm that came through this town, Stephen.
The Wynne Yellow Jackets, as we've seen. Will, before we show some new video, we're here at the stadium. That turf, that AstroTurf, that was lofted. I think that's an indication of those surface winds right at ground level. That AstroTurf, that's what you've seen that's been lofted into this neighborhood?
Without a doubt. And then also lots of the roofing from the high school as well that has been brought into a lot of this neighborhood here. But significant damage to these homes right here. And a lot of it is damage from the structure of the high school that's made its way across the town and into these homes. But there are not many homes out of at least the dozen I can see here in the distance behind me, Stephen, that have any sort of roof, These are brick homes that still sustained very considerable damage, and that's the things that we're going to be looking at later on. The National Weather Service will be looking at when they try to determine the strength of these storms and exactly the type of power that was on display here. But there are complete just piles of rubble, Stephen, in these homes, and we're seeing dozens and dozens of them. The path, from my perspective, is very clear. But this came over this high school here, went directly through this neighborhood, and so this is where emergency officials are trying to access right now to get into these homes and make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah, and I just hope that everyone is okay. There were initially some reports that people, as many as 12 people, were trapped in a place close to where you're at. And looking at that rainbow, a lot of times it's a good sign, but when you have it contrasting to this, it's devastating just to see what we've been dealing with and what the town of Wynn went through. The National Weather Service out of Memphis, as this storm was tearing through, mentioned that perhaps an EF2, but we won't speculate on that. But that's what the Weather Service said as this tornado was in progress, and that damage we're looking at too. I'm sure you don't have that return, Will, but we're looking earlier some images from storm trackers when one of these trees completely uprooted, landing right on a home. It's devastating to see, and you can see some of just those new leaves that had just emerged